Hello, and welcome to Fable's Adventures. Today, we've got a great short story with a lot of psychological complexity. In the shadows of the Dossier, Silas discovers that his mentor, Dr. Elias, may no longer have his best interest in mind. If you're joining us on Apple Podcasts, just as a reminder, head on over to our YouTube or Spotify channels for the video that goes along with this story. Hit like and subscribe to our channel for all of the exciting updates to come. If you want to download the Fable's Adventures iOS app, the link is in the description. Enjoy!
And then the Dossier. You're 3 hours past the point where your eyes should stop working, but they don't. They keep moving across the screen, absorbing the glow like its sustenance. The safe house breathes around you. That particular exhalation of a place that's been holding its breath for decades. Dust motes hang suspended in the cone of your desk lamp, and you don't move them. You don't move at all. The file was misfiled. You found it because you were looking for something else, because your mind works the way it does. Lateral, suspicious, always reading the space between the lines. Sector 7, subsection marked Discontinued Assets. Your fingers had hesitated for only a moment before pulling it. Now you can't pull them away. The photograph is 6 years old. You're thinner in it, sharper around the edges, hungrier. Your eyes have that particular glassiness that comes from believing you're part of something larger than yourself, something good. The caption reads, "Subject demonstrates exceptional pattern recognition. Loyalty appears genuine, but requires continued observation." Appears genuine. The words sit in your stomach like swallowed glass. You light a cigarette even though you've quit. Even though you quit. Years ago. The same year as this photograph, actually. The smoke curls toward the darkness above your head, and you watch it dissipate into nothing. That's what you're good at, disappearing, becoming the space between the words. But they've been watching the space. They've been documenting it. Mentor. Assessment. Cross demonstrates independent strategic thinking. Risk factor elevated. Recommend enhanced monitoring. Enhanced monitoring. You know whose handwriting this is. You've read it on 1,000 notes, 1,000 post-its left on your desk in the safe house's kitchen, on margins of encrypted documents, in the cramped, angular script of someone who learned penmanship before computers made it obsolete. You've watched that hand move across paper while Dr. Elias, while the cigarette burns down to your fingers. You don't notice. Here's the thing about trust. It's architectural. You build it slowly, brick by brick, and one person can demolish the whole structure with a single piece of information. One photograph, one dossier marked with dates and observations that span the entire arc of your relationship with him. Every conversation, every mission, every moment you thought you were choosing freely, documented, evaluated, monitored. You scroll deeper into the file. There are photographs of you entering the safe house, of you meeting with the others, Maya, Torres, the kids from the college cell. There's a notation from 2 years ago. Subject obtained restricted access codes. Origin unknown. Potential security breach or deliberate assignment. Recommend immediate clarification. Clarification? What a surgical word for an interrogation. But there's no interrogation in your file. No confrontation, just more watching, more noting, more of Dr. Elias's careful handwriting documenting your movements, like you were an interesting chess piece on a board he controlled. You stand up. The chair scrapes. The sound is obscene in the silence. The safe house doesn't change when you move through it. It remains exactly as it was, a cathedral of forgotten intelligence, indifferent to your revelation. The corridors don't care that you've discovered your own architecture has been compromised. The dust doesn't settle differently. The silence doesn't shift. You move to the window anyway, as if motion might help you think. It won't. Your mind is already moving at the speed it always does. Lateral, suspicious, working several moves ahead of where you actually are. What you're working toward now is not a puzzle to solve, but a truth to avoid. Because here's what you know. There's a reason this file exists, and there's a reason it exists here. In this particular safe house, in this particular archive, there's a reason you found it. You turn back to the desk. The screen glows in the darkness like a kept secret. The last entry is dated 3 weeks ago. Subject has become increasingly isolated, withdrawn from active cell operations, emotional volatility noted. Recommend. The sentence cuts off mid-word. The rest of the page is blank, as if someone stopped writing, as if someone realized what they were doing and simply stopped. Your hand hovers over the keyboard. You could dig deeper. You could access the encryption protocols, the secondary files, the communications logs between Dr. Elias and whoever he was reporting to. You could build a complete picture of your own betrayal, piece by piece, until the image was so clear, so undeniable, that you couldn't look away from it. You don't. Instead, you close the file. Your fingers move to the keyboard with the precision of muscle memory, and you initiate the erasure protocols. The document dissolves from the screen like it never existed, like it was always just a shadow, a ghost. The safe house settles around you. It's 4 a.m. The world outside is in that particular shade of dark that comes just before dawn, the kind of darkness that feels deliberate, chosen. You smoke another cigarette and don't quit again. Here's what you understand about betrayal. It's not binary. It's not a switch that flips from trust to suspicion. It's a room you enter and then spend the rest of your life trying to find the door to. Sometimes the door is a keyhole you never look through. Sometimes the key is in your own hand the whole time, and you simply choose not to turn it. You think about Dr. Elias's handwriting, the way he always writes his annotations at the margins. Careful, considered, the mark of someone who weighs their words before committing them to paper. Someone who has reasons for the things they do, even when those reasons are terrible. You think about the last unfinished sentence. Recommend. Recommend what? Protection? Removal? Understanding? You'll never know. Not because you can't access the information, but because some keyholes are better left unwatched. Some doors are stronger when they remain locked. The sun rises the way it always does. Indifferent. Inevitable. The dust motes in your desk lamp begin to glow like they contain some small truth worth witnessing. You extinguish your cigarette and don't light another. Outside, the city wakes. People move through its streets, unaware of the architecture beneath their feet, the watching that never stops, the trust that's always conditional. You move through the world the way you always have, like a whisper, like a ghost, like someone who has learned to live in the spaces between what's said and what's hidden. The safe house exhales its peculiar stillness around you, and you, having found the truth, choose not to speak it.
Thanks for listening to our story today. Our stories at Fables Adventures are created using the Fables Adventures app for iOS, available for both the iPhone and the iPad. And if you have enjoyed the story that you have just heard and want to create stories like this of your own, head over to the Apple App Store and download the app for yourself. There is a link in the description. You can also read the full text of the story that you have just heard at the link in the description of this story as well. Hit like, subscribe to our channel, and please leave us a comment about what you enjoyed about today's story. It really helps. We're trying to do something here at Fables Adventures to support people living with ALS or motor neuron disease, simply by creating content like this for you all to enjoy. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you tomorrow.